Arrivederci, redhead. Eric,
Buongiorno, Ty.
how is he
How
doing?
are you doing?
My king has returned from the Mediterranean Sea. How ye
Ah,
doing, sailor?
well, sailor, the queen is dead and dad is back.
Mm.
Um, I'm happy to return to my throne here at Think Fresh Podcast. Um, Man, I missed you so much, Ty. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie. I tried so hard to find time and good Wi-Fi to record with you, but it really was not working out in my favor. Turns out the Wi-Fi at every hotel was kind of trash. So every time I moved cities, I was praying the Wi-Fi was going to get better, but it just wasn't.
it's completely understandable, Eric. It's part of the charm of Italy to have shit Wi-Fi everywhere you go.
You're
So
absolutely right.
I came to terms with it quite quickly. Between mourning the loss of my co-host and the Queen, and EA canceling all his agreements with apparel manufacturers. It's been a dicey couple weeks for T-Bone, but I'm getting through it. I'm glad you're back. We have a new king. Eric is king. Watch the throne, baby. We're back.
It's We're watching the throne, and no worries because the throne is a love seat tie, and there's room for you and I.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
I'm a 6 inch. You're a 6 inch. Together we make a delicious foot long, and I'm excited to bite into another episode with you, Eric.
oh man, I was missing this back and forth so much. But I'm back and I'm happy to turn this podcast into a godcast, Ty.
Oh hell yeah, he's leveling it
Let's
up.
go.
So you must be taking a lot of inspiration. So you've been in Italy. You've been uh, just kind of moving around Rome and Florence and the Amalfi Coast for the last couple of weeks. So I hear. Uh, Anything you'd like to report back to the breadheads?
Dude, I have so much to report back. This will have to be like a marathon episode, 2 hours. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Ty. We have to split this into two parts. But
Yeah, dude, you're like the James Cameron of podcasting. We're getting like a three-part Avatar and a three-part Eric's journeys throughout Italy.
hmm yeah, we're switching Think Fresh up to be a Joe Rogan style 4 hour format,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really so that we have enough time to do DMT, get a
Mm-hmm.
good pump in,
Oh yeah, dude.
also smoke some cigars and sober up all in the same episode.
Yeah, dude. I like to do a few push-ups before an episode because I feel like it gets like all of my muscles tingling, my brain tingling, my tongue tingling, so that I can deliver to you the best possible audio experience. Speaking of which, before you
hmm
get into your Italy trip, I just wanted to acknowledge I'm rocking some AirPod Pros now. I don't know if you've noticed that. Look at those
Oh,
little dinky little 4 inchers.
those little mighty melts, New Year's.
Little
Wow,
mighty melts.
dude, this I could tell something was like different about you. Like I thought it was the push-ups you did because I could sense the testosterone is coming through the Zoom call right now.
Hmm.
But it sounds like you are actually recording this in 8D audio, so that's great.
I am. It's really impressive. It must be that spatial audio feature, but I feel like I'm in the podcasting booth with you right now. I hope the listeners feel the same way, that they're just a few inches closer to my raspy voice.
Yeah, we're peeling back the sneeze guard, and you're right up close. This is a meet the artist VIP
Yeah,
experience
dude.
here.
It's an ASMR session here.
Exactly. Wow.
But another
Are these the new AirPod Pros with like the little like loop for your lanyard?
No, dude. These aren't new. I ordered these over a month ago before they even announced the new ones. I had no clue what was coming. So I missed the
Mm.
boat a little bit there. I obviously don't have any insider information at Apple One
hmm
campus to let me
Yeah.
know that was coming.
Well, if you received these less than a month ago, then you probably are able to do a quick swap. and I'm sure it wouldn't cost you anything
That's a
because it's
good
the
point.
same price, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm still on Apple Care, baby.
Yeah, dude, just hit return and cop the new ones, and you're good to go.
You're a smart man. Um, I'm on sandwich care. I want to do the same thing with my foot long.
God
Which
damn
can
it.
I get 1 minute of sandwich care when I buy my foot long? Just let me get a
Hmm.
few bites in and then undo if
Yeah,
necessary.
exactly. That's a really good point. Like, there should be a bomb timer. As soon as you
Hmm.
unwrap the sandwich, it's like, oh, it's countdown 60 seconds. Like, either you have to like return it within 60 seconds, or you're committing to that stomach ache for the rest of the
Yeah,
day.
dude. I like to imagine that there's like a sandwich artist at my table, like UFC ref style, like from unwrap to like first bite, counting down my minute till my warranty's up. And I only
Hmm.
have that period to call out any like manufacturer discrepancies or dysfunctions with my foot long.
Hmm. You're right. I mean, we know about my AirPod hack that I performed not long ago, where I just like got a free set because
Hmm.
apparently they had some audio issues, which I barely noticed, but online it said they had them. So
There
returned
you
them
go.
and got a fresh set of Lucy's. But yeah, that's where we are now. Speaking
Yeah.
of sitting with a stomach ache, Ty, I want to talk to you about my flight to Italy.
Oh
I don't want
no.
to. I don't want to. I don't want to tell you anything about Italy just yet because I want to talk about my layover in Montreal.
Oh great. I remember before you left on this worldwide trip,
Hmm.
you mentioned drinking a bunch of milk before getting on a flight because you love to like mess up the bathrooms or something. I don't know. You're a quirky guy. I can't really remember. It's been too long.
My favorite thing to do is to take a huge number two before we take off. That
Uh-huh.
way, it stinks the entire like time the seatbelt sign's on.
Get it in the
Um,
ventilation system.
yeah, exactly. Drop a bomb, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm actually talking about my short 2 hour layover in Montreal. This is before we managed to fly into Rome. We had like
Hmm.
a little bit of time to eat because when you fly to the East Coast and then to Europe, you're basically flying to Europe twice. It's just like really long. like
Hmm.
like you're flying in like a triangle shape instead of a direct line. So it was like 8 hours or 9 hours to, or no, like 5 hours to Montreal and then like 9 hours to Europe. It's just like a total waste of time, which I'll
Total
never do
waste.
again. But it means I got to sample the local cuisine.
The
Um,
poutines of Montreal Airport.
yeah, exactly. And I think everyone had the same idea because this restaurant at Terminal 2 got filled up so fast that I almost missed my flight because I was trying to order this poutine. And then by the time it came, we had like 5 minutes to eat it. And so I like stress ate this like smoked meat poutine
Damn.
just as hard as I could. And I got through it, Ty, but I feel like I was really in a food coma on the whole way there. So maybe not a total bad thing.
Ooh la la. Well, I could imagine it would be a potatoes are so dense that
Hmm.
it would be like a cement block in your stomach if that whole thing hits all at once, you know? Especially
Yeah.
after a full day of traveling, your body's not ready for that type of like exhaustion.
Hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, that thing made me really calm and sleepy, which was actually kind of
Hmm.
good because I just like sat there in, in business class with my AirPod Maxes on and just kind of sat there, listened to my boy Joe Rogan,
Hmm. You know, I
and
would
before
have
you knew
never
it, I was
thought
there.
about it. I would have never thought about it, but poutine really is the Xanax of like snack food.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just enough to get you to fall asleep and kick your feet up and not worry about a thing, Ty.
Hell yeah. So
Hell yeah.
how was first class on what did you even fly? Cathay? How'd you get
I
there?
went to Taiwan. Um, no, I flew Air Canada, which was
Air Canada?
operated by United Airlines.
Interesting.
Easily, you know what? I think like United sucks. Like I think in general people just know that. But it was better than Air Canada usually is. So what does that tell us, Ty? That Air Canada actually sucks the most. You
Mm.
know when that guy got dragged off a United Airlines flight? I was like waiting for that to happen to me because they overbooked like
Hmm.
by 20 people. And so like everyone had like a different flight loaded on their app. There was like multiple flights loaded on people's apps, including me. So I was getting notifications for a whole other flight. I was like, I hope I'm not on that one.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I think they were like choosing people to like send over, but thank God for my Amex status because I think that
Hmm.
secured my spot on my flight.
That's a really scary feeling, Eric. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. It's like very much like a situation that like someone traveling, immigrating to a country may feel, where they're like, are they going to split up me and my family?
Hmm.
Honestly, like airplane seats shouldn't be fungible, you know? They shouldn't be
Oh,
fungible, but they are. It's silly.
yeah, yeah. You're so right. If I was flying from Ukraine, that might have been a different story,
Hmm.
I might have ended up in New Hampshire while my LP landed in New
God
England,
knows where.
you
Yeah,
know,
they're both new.
somewhere horrible. Um, oh, that's really funny. But shout out to the good people over at American Express, Ty. They really took care of me and made sure that I got on my intended flight, and they had to honor my reservation, and that was good. So it all worked out.
Beautiful. I love when the consumer wins. Power to the consumer. So you hop on this flight, you got a brick of a poutine in your stomach, smoked meat coming out your ass, and what do? You snooze the whole way there, all the way across the Atlantic?
I was in a kind of a dazed, kind of like lucid dream state where I was just like existing in our reality, but my mind wasn't. So I was like looking out into like the seatbelt sign, but my mind was inside the booth with Joe Rogan,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Okay. No, it totally makes sense.
Yeah,
You can be physically and mentally in two different places.
yeah, exactly. So that was pretty good. But yeah, that was not even a bad flight. Landed in Italy, in Rome. Took the train to the city, hopped on a Uber Black, ripped over the hotel. Everything was really easy, actually. Good travel stories.
That's great. You escaped Rome right before fascist leaders took over the country.
What? Are you talking about
I
Ferragamo or Montclair? Because I was in Milan.
No, dude. There's the a new fascist political party has just taken a majority stake. Like anyone who's familiar with the Italian political system would know that like there's like thousands of political parties there. Years and years of bickering amongst Roman and then Italian people have led to all these fractional, like very similar political parties. And during political campaign season in Italy, it's a total mess. It's like imagine every single leaf of shreddis in the shreddis bin is a different political party, and you're just like putting your hand in and pulling one out. It's very
Wow.
different than our like two party systems over here in North America. But so it's an
Mm.
absolutely I'm flabbergasted at the idea that like a single political party was able to gain so much of the landmass known as Italy, and it's some sort of fascist party. I don't really understand them. I don't know what their plan is, but they want to protect the nuclear family. That's all I know. And you flew out right as they were coming into power.
Oh, really? I mean, my Uber Black driver on the way home, because we did have one night in Rome on the way back. He was wearing like a leather coat, so I think the
Mm,
signs of the fascist party have already um, been manifesting. It's already
that's a
starting to
good route.
show. Yeah. So hang on, does that mean like that things are better there than they are here? Because like here we have like two parties, right? I mean, in Canada, it's like politics here is like a joke. Like you don't have to care about it. But
Mm-hmm.
say like in the US there's like left and right, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
the entire country is like split in half. But over there, since they have so many groups, does it even matter who wins? Because they're all kind of the same, aren't they? You
At the
can't
end of
you
the day, they
can't
probably are.
yeah, there's probably way more overlap than over here in North America, right?
I have no clue how they make any sense of it. Like you, they all come together to make some coherent type of footlong. If you think about that, like the footlong of politics.
So they
So
co-create a sandwich together, like they are all contributing in some way to make a meal. Is that what you're
I
saying?
think I think so. And like Italy has a history of working with like minute and complicated details. Like that's like how they manage their history is entirely that. So I think they are
hmm
sensitive to it when they also think about politics.
hmm Let's just be thankful that we don't live in the Vatican City, Ty,
Hmm.
and we don't have like guys like hot guys in like funny little suits protecting our city.
Damn.
You know,
Imagine being just
like
like an attractive young man and having to don the Vatican attire.
yeah, it's like you're a 10, but you have to stand in front of the Vatican.
It's crazy because you're also like a kilometer away for some where some of like the best fashion on earth has been created, and you have to wear those goofy little like hats.
Exactly. It's like there's nary a Prada store in your stupid little country, and just steps away is like the biggest outlet mall in Europe or something. But
Hmm.
yeah, that must suck to be working and living there. Do you think they get to clock out and then just leave the country? Like people do that here.
Probably.
Like people live in Seattle and work in Vancouver.
Hmm. Oh, definitely. Like I don't know how many times last time I was in Italy, I accidentally walked in and out of the Vatican State by accident. So I feel like you just like go out for a dart on your break and you accidentally walk into another country.
hmm I mean, I can't see how you can do that by accident because there's like a huge wall. There's like a huge wall and a line of tourists to get in.
That's true. Okay, fair point. I'm sure there's some
Um,
back doors on that big ass building, Eric.
yeah, but it was actually helpful as a tourist to navigate the Vatican because I knew that as soon as you saw like a green military truck and like someone with a rifle, that means like you're near the exit or like that's the way out, or the way in, depending on which side you're on. But I do have a story actually about the St. Peter's Basilica.
Okay.
Managed to finesse the 4 hour line to get in.
Oh, nice. Did you throw down €20 to get to the front of the line?
Even better, Ty. We went through the exit.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah,
smart.
we just walked up to the exit, and obviously there's security there. But Bay and I used our pretty privilege by and just told them that I lost my sunglasses in there, and I had to even like show him the make and model of it on my phone for him to like call like three other guys to look for it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, sorry, man. Like the only way for you to guys go in is to wait in line again." And we're like, "Dude, there's no way." Like, oh, and I showed him like how much they were, and he's like, "Damn, man, those are expensive."
Shit.
And he's like, "You know what? Don't talk to anybody, but go in and just be quick." So I walked in. Bay like stood around for a little bit, waited for him to look away, and then followed me in. And yeah, got a free tour of the basilica. Didn't have to wait in line for 4 hours. It was pretty good.
Wow, what a play. You
Yeah.
went you dropped the district vision. He went world vision and helped you out.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
now we all have a playbook for next visit to the Vatican. Great call, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank God, dude. That was all God's plan in the end of the day. God wanted me to
Hell
see the basilica and God did.
yeah. Hmm. Shout out to God for sponsoring this trip
Yeah,
in this
literally.
episode.
Time is
Uh,
money, and I'm not down to sit and waste my vacation standing next to a bunch of Christians?
Dude, I am so into the hack of just paying people to skip lines.
How
It
have you managed to do this? Because I'm curious about this genre
well,
of scams.
I think I mentioned it the other day, like merch lines at concerts. If you want to cop merch, don't stand in line. Just go to the front and pay. Pay to get what you need.
hmm Yeah, that's great idea. It's only when there's like security is when it gets tricky. But if you
Hmm.
can like talk to them and either make a arguable case for yourself, or just like let them know it's like, yo, I'm obviously capping, but like just play along, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like you
Like
can sometimes make that work.
it's not like they really care at the end of the day, you know? Like they will do anything.
Hmm.
Anyone will do anything for a good story. Like every time I'm like need to use the bathroom at like and I'm like not near a public bathroom, I'll just like go into a nice restaurant, ask the host, say to the hostess, like, yo, I think my friends are in here. I'm meeting somebody. And they're like, go find their table, young man. And I say,
Hmm.
thank you. And then I just go use like the nicest bathroom I can find and then
Hmm.
leave. So that's the trick. If you're going to use the bathroom and you're in another city, just go find the nicest restaurant or hotel you can and just go in there.
Hmm. Exactly. Don't look poor, but be like, yeah, I need to like, I'm just looking for my table. I
Hmm.
did that so many times in Rome, Thai, because there's no,
They want to make
obviously
you
there's
pay for
no,
every bathroom, right?
yeah, dude, I'm not gonna like buy an espresso every time I need to piss. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna walk straight into a restaurant, go straight to the back and use it. And after I use it, what are they gonna do? Kick me out?
Hmm. Like make you buy espresso? Nah.
Yeah, exactly. You're good. After that, you're good. So, um, but I actually went to Pisa as well for like an afternoon. This
Hell
is
yeah.
hilarious, Ty. But I think the restaurants and business owners there are so just like annoyed of tourists. Like tourists like run that city down, dude. That city is like absolutely torched because how many people go there for this tower. Dude, it was like I have a photo of just everyone with their hands up like this. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, the business owners there are smarter. They are watching who is sitting down and who's paying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I walked into a cafe to. I was actually going to use the bathroom and like buy something, but the guy like physically blocked me. He was like, "Where are you sitting?" And I was like, "Oh, just over there. I need to use the bathroom." Though he's like, "All right." I had to like convince him to let me like in and use the bathroom.
Hmm.
And I felt bad. I was like, you know what? Good on you, because these tourists out here are flying in, like running down your town and like not even spending money. You know what I mean?
I don't even think someone spends a night in Pisa. Like these people spend like an hour in Pisa and then move on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. After 20 minutes, I was done. I was like, okay, so now what? Our flight's in an hour. What do we do?
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel bad for someone trying to like make a go of it there, you know? Like you're hustling, you're living in Pisa, you got your cafe or your sandwich shop and you need to like play the tourist game
Hmm.
to participate in that economy. But
Hmm.
what if you don't want to? What if like you just were born in Pisa and that's just your life? You have to. It's like a Vegas local has to play the Vegas game if they want to like. Well, maybe they don't. Vegas is a lot bigger than Pisa, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. But if you
how
live
do you
in,
how do you get out of that gang system? It's
it must be hard because even if you live in, like, if you live in Vegas and you're working your 9 to 5 and you're making like X amount of money, you're always thinking like, damn, if I was like shaking my ass, I'd be making double. You know what I mean?
hell yeah.
Just down the street. And same thing with pizza. Like if I offered an English menu, I'd be making double the money.
Yeah, so you're compromising on so many things. You're like, if I just sold fridge magnets, I could maybe I could afford to leave this crummy town.
Hmm. Absolutely. I tried to delete pizza from my memory, so I didn't buy anything there. Just a coffee.
Good call.
Actually,
Good
coffee
call.
and a sandwich. But it was good coffee and a sandwich, man. That's all I really needed out of that town.
While we're on the topic of sandwich, I have to ask, do you have any activations with Subway during this trip?
I peeked inside. I managed to walk by one in Florence, and I looked inside, and there was not a single soul in there. Not even a sandwich artist. I completely empty.
Damn. Are they fully
And
automated or just closed?
they were open for business, and there were tables inside,
Huh,
but they had like a layer of dust on them, if you know what I mean. Um,
I see.
okay, so it was actually interesting. This might be a entirely different story in Rome in terms of subway, because like it's a big city. There's people commuting. There's
Hmm.
like lots of shit going on. Like you don't want to like you can't really like walk everywhere, so you probably want to eat where you are. and
Mm,
there's more fast food options in general. But in Florence,
mm-hmm.
like if you walk by any piazza, you'll
Hmm.
see the same people. You'll see people eating with the same sandwich wrapper, and it's all
Oh,
from this.
interesting.
Yeah, it's all from this one sandwich shop. Which, if you walk to that street, it's like a concert. There's like a and this place has opened up 4 different storefronts in the same street. That's how popular it is.
The hell? And is it? Did you try it? Is it good?
Yeah, we tried it 2 days in a row. It was so good.
Oh, damn. What's it called?
uh, All'Antico Vinaio.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Interesting. So
Yeah,
you went to All'Antica Vinaio twice. This is the subway of Florence.
it's quite literally the subway of Florence. Um, there's so many people waiting for a sandwich and eating that sandwich that like that's why the subway's empty. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's why. Everything's so close. You can just walk to this place. It's
Hmm.
so much
Hmm.
better. It's like the best sandwich I've ever had in my life,
Holy
and
shit.
it's worth the wait.
The best sandwich you've had in your life.
Yeah,
All'Antico Vinaio. Okay. So
yeah, yeah.
you get out, you walk up here, you skip the line and pay the person in the front €20 to just jump in and get your 6-inch order.
Hmm.
What what does one order at a sandwich like this? Can you get a BMT?
um, a Boston Metro Transit in Florence, Ty? Um, no way, man. You gotta get the favolosa. That's what I got. It's got some salami, of course, some finocchiona salami, or a what is it? Finocchi? Finocchio? I don't know. Some kind of salami with fennel. It's with fennel seeds, Ty. And what else was on it? Some pecorino cream cheese.
Pecorino
Um,
cream cheese? Damn.
yeah,
Only in Italy.
some some stewed spicy eggplants, and I
Really?
believe I added some sun-dried tomato. That was my add-on,
Shit. That sounds whack as hell, dude. That's a
dude.
wild sandwich.
Dude, it
And
was so good.
there's a lot of mushy things in there. I feel like you must have had a crispy bread to work like balance that out.
Ty, this is why I pod with you. You're absolutely right. It was a nice big piece of focaccia, sliced down the middle, big crunch on both sides of the bread.
And
Yeah, dude, it
that
was
is a
so
beautiful.
fucking good.
My stomach just grumbled. I want to eat that really badly. I love the idea of eggplant in a sandwich and sun-dried tomato, pecorino cream cheese. Dude, these are the ingredients that I want on Subway's menu as like not all the time, just like bring in one as a feature, like a featured guest on an album, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. If only Subway like completely. I'll be down for that. But also, if they completely switch their menu over to an Italian menu,
Hmm.
like you have a choice of salami or prosciutto. Like
Hmm.
that's what I want. Like, why doesn't Subway have prosciutto?
I don't know, dude. That would make way more sense with their like faux Italian roots. Like the BMT should actually
Exactly.
stand for Bologna, Milan, Tuscany, and it should have prosciutto and burrata and a drizzle of olio.
Exactly. That's all you really need. Some prosciutto, a good bread. Like Subway's bread's good enough to be used in an Italian context.
Believe it or not, you that sentence has some legs. I think you are probably right.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we ran it back the next day and we got a truffle one, like a
Mm,
truffle
nice.
prosciutto.
Hmm.
Also very, very good. You know what's good when like there's like 5 people making sandwiches in there. There's 5 art and like they're like the guy who's making my sandwich is like flirting with my girl. And that's how you know it's like a good sandwich restaurant. Like my girl had her phone out, like filming the sandwich creation process, and he's like
Yeah.
doing all this like extra shit for the camera.
Hell yeah.
And she's like giggling, and I was like getting like so pissed. I was like, "Do you think this is funny? Like this guy works at a sandwich shop."
Are you falling for this shit?
Yeah,
Damn.
but overall,
Well,
very very good.
you should know that your girl has like a her Achilles heel is men in the sandwich industry.
I know. Uh, I was like, Like, man, this guy, like, do you want someone who like works at like a sandwich like podcast, or somebody who works at Universal? You know what I mean? It's two different lifestyles.
Nice. He works at
Yeah,
Universal.
it's like, my
Um,
guy, you work at Universal.
it does take a certain level of like professionalism to be able to do your job in a really complicated or crazy environment and then still find time to like also try to get a like net a girl at the same time.
Yeah.
Like to be like mentally and physically operating on different levels is
hmm
pretty impressive.
But you know what? It's the set menu. It's the fact that there's no co-creation
Mm,
process happening. The fact that I just told him what I wanted and he knows exactly how to make it. He's made it 1,000 times that day. It's
that's
literally
true.
the top sandwich on the menu. So it's like, yeah, no problem, buddy. And just throws it together. He's making eye contact with her. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
uh, yikes. um, you bring up a good point though. He's just going through the motions, man,
Yeah.
and your lady loves the motions, I'm sure.
hmm
So this is the challenge with sandwich artists is that they are shackled mentally to whatever you're creating.
hmm
They don't have the same liberties as your regular run-of-the-mill fast food employee. They're not allowed to be physically going through the motions and mentally disassociated because both physically and mentally their actions are tied to whatever surprises come out of your jaw, you
hmm
know?
hmm
So that must be really challenging. It's like the Guantanamo of fast food. Like you are tortured every day because you can't. There's no escapism here. There's no getting away from your job. You have to be listening. You have to be physically engaged. That would
hmm
be so challenging. They should honestly pay sandwich artists more.
They honestly should. We would get better sandwiches from that.
Likely.
It's important. It's important, man. But yeah, this place was like laid out very, very similarly to a Subway. There was
Mm-hmm.
a sneeze guard. There
Mm-hmm.
was a an array of cured meats on display.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of different cheeses, bins of vegetables, spreads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just so good. And all the sandwich artists are facing you. Is another thing I like quite a bit. Um, Different cashier. The cashier was not making any sandwiches. He had a very separate, specialized role of ringing
Mm-hmm.
the customers through. Um, and I got really good at telling them I wanted a big beer.
Molto birra.
Yeah, big beer. And they said, "Don't worry, I got you." And yeah, I love how when you order a beer at a sandwich shop in Italy, they ask you if you want it opened. It's like,
Mm,
yes, of course I do.
I want to drink it now.
Yeah.
So damn. So you throwing back a couple Peronis with your sandwich on scene. Okay, question
hmm
for you. Do they toast your sandwich or is the bread just naturally warm? Or are you still on your cursed cold sandwich kick?
They don't toast sandwiches over there. It turns out, Ty. There's no
Hmm.
toaster in sight. There's an oven where they bake it. They bake the bread, and then they cut it open and they put meat and cheese in there.
Wow. So was it difficult to assimilate into that sandwich culture, a non-toasting culture?
No, because I think deep down, my cold sandwich phase was merely me trying to get back to my roots of like not using an external toaster. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Bread should be always fresh and always be made on the spot. There's a guy coming in and out of the restaurant every 5 minutes carrying a stack of.
That's wild. But you know what?
Yeah,
Like Subway should be operating with that model. Like they're making bread all day, every day. There's no reason you shouldn't be having fresh out of the oven bread for your sandwich. Why do you need the toaster?
exactly. How long does it even take to toast the bread? Like an hour? Like just do that at 11 and then you have bread for the lunch rush.
Yeah, it will still be in the warmer. Just put a nice like cloth, like a linen cloth over top of it,
Yes.
and then it feels a little bit more artisanal and stays warm.
Nona's Knickers right on top.
uh,
Uh,
Damn, yeah, maybe not that, but
just steaming.
I mean,
But yeah,
that's
dude, so good.
damn. Yeah, that does
Damn.
sound good. What a
But I do
beautiful
want to talk
food.
about yeah, I do want to talk about the Subway that I walked by. So there is a few things on the menu that I wanted to call out to you. There is shows.
What?
There's there's nachos Thai and a hot dog on the menu
No.
at Subway. Yeah.
Oh shit. So what's happening here? Let me guess. Franchisee thinks Subway appeals to the transient Americans traveling through Rome. So
Mm,
Subway franchisee thinks, what do Americans like? And the two most American foods are nachos and hot dogs.
hmm.
Does
I
that
think
does
so.
that logic make sense?
I think it's a two-pronged approach. So they're targeting the transient American who is lusting for something to remind them of home.
Some Mexican
Like,
food.
yeah, some Mexican food, some fake Mexican food, and a game day hot dog. Okay, it makes actually a lot of sense. But
Okay.
the other thing I think is they want Italians to eat it because, like 9 months out of the year, there's only Italians there. So
Hmm.
they want, Italians who are curious about America
Hmm.
to come to Subway and to get a taste of it because Subway here is trying to be Italian, but why would you ever go to a place that's trying to be Italian when there's an actual Italian place down the street
Right.
or
So now
or
you're going
even
to
next door?
interesting. So Subway is playing both sides here.
Exactly.
They're trying to be Italian in America. They're trying to be American in Italy to appeal
Exactly.
to curious palates.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Curious Italians and homesick Americans.
Yeah. That's a big enough market to probably sustain a couple Subway locations.
At least a couple. Oh man, that's
So
funny.
not nachos and hot dogs. I would be pretty heartbroken if you didn't try either of those.
I'm I'm sorry,
Oof,
but I
oof,
don't think
my
I was
heart.
hungry. I don't think I was hungry for 1 minute on this trip. I was always eating something,
I get
and
that.
I wasn't gonna waste my time on Subway. But I hope you understand.
No, I do. I always fill up on preemie. There's no space for even second D. What do I do?
I know, dude. I always get two preemies, two secondies. Now what?
Yeah, no room for Dolce.
Exactly.
I can't
uh,
even stomach this grappa right now.
yeah, I know. Managed to get like multiple shots of free grappa. Like
Hmm.
I think at four total.
I think it's common practice if you go to the right places and schmooze your
Yeah,
server.
yeah. Because you just like I complimented the guy, so the owner like served us like as a waiter,
Hmm.
and we just like started talking. I was like, oh yeah, your restaurant's beautiful, and then later on he just ended up he was like, this is a gift from me, and he just put down two shots of
Wow,
Amaro. I was like, my guy, and obviously I
beautiful.
had both of them. um, and then same thing at this like it looked like a mob run Italian restaurant. Like
Hmm.
it was like packed to the brim of locals and tourists alike.
Hmm.
Um, but we ended up moving. They asked us to move a table over to fit a
Hmm.
larger group, and I said, "Of course, of course. We're merely guests." And a joke in passing, I was like, "So does this mean the wine's free?" And the guy just like chuckled and was like, "How about limoncello?" I was like, "Hell yeah, man!"
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love
Hmm.
when I get a minor inconvenience at a restaurant because I know there's
Oh
always a
yeah.
big kickback.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. It's like getting hit by a car, you're like getting paid out.
Yeah, I know exactly. I just see dollar bills falling. Like, yes.
Cha-ching. Uh,
Oh, any minor inconvenience at a restaurant is so good.
Bro, one time I was at Shambar with the in-laws, and everybody, like
Hmm.
half the group, which is like four people out of eight, they order waffles. And when breakfast comes, when brunch shows up, there's no waffles. It's just four dishes. And then I swear to God, a minute later, they come out with the waffles, almost like there wasn't enough hands to bring the waffles at the same time. And they put down
Oh
all the
shit.
waffles. And then the maitre d' comes up, such a fuss, says, "I'm so sorry the waffles were delayed. They're on the house today." They comped half our meal at Shambar because their waffles were a minute late.
Oh wow,
Cha-ching, baby. That's a lot of
dude,
waff.
big cha-ching. Oh, I absolutely love that
Wow.
Thai.
Me too.
Wow. Trying to think of what other freebies happened. Oh, we had like a meal where the guy like misread our or misheard our order. Obviously, I'm speaking English. This guy's Italian. He obviously is gonna
Yeah.
mishear me.
It's
But
his fault.
yeah, but I asked for the mixed fried seafood,
Hmm.
and then I felt a little bit insulted when he brought me a plate of French fries. I was like, "Are you
Oh
fucking
no.
joking right now?" Um, and then yeah, I got some free fries out of it, I guess.
The
But I don't know. That
freaks.
place sucked. I didn't like that one, to be honest.
Well, what do you expect when you order a seafood medley from any restaurant? You're going into uncharted territory.
Dude, in Italy, this is something that was like on every menu, and we were so happy about it because they just like dump a bunch of seafood in the fryer and like you just take it out and that's your dish. Like we had like fried shrimp, fried squid, fried sardines, like all on the same plate, and that was like the
Mm,
best seafood menu I had, man.
a proper seafood medley. I love to hear it. Get that
Hmm.
between bun, baby.
Hmm. Speaking of seafood medley, we went to a restaurant in Rome, and this was like local. You walk in and it looks like a fish market. There's like on the right side is like a big cooler and like an assorted medley of fish on ice. And you have
Wow.
and like one of the menu options is you have to choose your fish and then choose how it's prepared.
Oh, that's cool. So you're
Yeah.
playing like seafood artist.
Exactly. You're playing sandwich artist and you're making a seafood medley for yourself.
Huh. And are the fish, I feel like in a scenario like that, the fish need to be named in order to ensure like a uniquely identified fish. Like, are you like, I want to have Steven and I want it filleted and fried? Like, how does that work? How do you identify ID which fish you want?
Mm, well, you point at it, it's right there in front of you.
Mm,
There's groupings of types of fish. So there's a branzino, there's the orada, there is a big swordfish. So
mm-hmm.
whoever has
Hell yeah.
the money for that can cop that. There's like a bin of sardines. There's a bin of like squid, all on ice. So you just say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let me get two of these or one of those or whatever, 500 grams of sardines, etc. And then you just say how you
Damn,
want it. Yeah.
that's pretty cool. It's a little deli. Is there a
Hmm.
sneeze guard between you and this ocean life?
Nope, it's a wet market, baby. It's wide open.
Really? You can sneeze all over that swordfish?
Yeah, dude, because every European knows you got to touch the eyeball to know if it's fresh. If it
Oh
just
shit.
sinks into itself, then that shit's old, bro.
It's a good call out.
Yeah.
Huh. I wish
Um,
that I had the same type of like levers for determining freshness at Subway. Like if I could just like put my finger on the cucumber and it just like sinks right through it, I think I'll
yeah.
skip today.
You just take the tomato slice and wiggle it around in your hand. It's like, is this thing flop? How much flop
Yeah.
does it have, you know?
Yeah, I just want to like flick
Oh,
the pickle a couple times.
yeah, exactly. Give your pickle a few taps and see if it's more better. But yeah, Ty, this place was awesome. Like the waitress was so sweet. Like she sat down first and then noticed we could like choose our own fish. We're like, oh, let's go check it out. So we went back to
Mhm.
the front and we were like, oh, like a little bit intimidated. Like everything's in Italian. We don't know how to order this. So like, you know what? Let's just pick something that's already kind of like on the menu. And then she came by and she's like, "Oh, like what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Oh, we don't know what we want." And then she said, "Come here, let me show you." And then
Nice.
she walks us over to the fish again, and then one by one walks us through what every single fish was and like how it's like best prepared and just like explains everything to us. And it was like so sweet. And we were like going back and forth, like, "Oh, like should we get this?" Blah blah blah. And it was just like such a great collaborative moment, Ty. I was really happy about that.
Wow, a proper sandwich artist.
Exactly. So
Huh.
yeah, we got some mussels. We got some mixed fried seafood. We got
Hmm.
some spaghetti with clams.
Mm,
And what else did we get? Oh, a tuna tartare was pretty good too.
damn. So most when I think about like the stereotypical Italian, they they have a lankiness to them. But do you feel like you gained weight on this trip?
I don't know, Ty. I need to weigh myself tomorrow probably. Because I feel like a tortellini is what I'm trying to say.
Hmm. Yeah, you went there a spaghetti noodle, but you're coming back a penne.
Exactly. Yeah, dude, I feel like whoever said like that walking is an exercise is full of shit. Like walking
Mm.
does not do anything for you
Walking
in
just
terms
makes
of
you
losing
fatter.
weight. Exactly. I feel fat as fuck. I feel bloated. Um, I think it was in Rome. We got like so full every single day because we would have like three plates of pasta for lunch between the two of us, and then it's like always like late lunch. It's always like 2 o'clock, and then like 4 hours later, we're like thinking about what to eat for dinner. I'm like, I can't even
Hmm.
think about food right now. Like I'm so full. And then so we wait until like 9 o'clock, and then get another plate of pasta and some
Hmm.
seafood, and then it's like 11 by the time we're finished. Like holy fuck, like it's time for some gelato.
Hell yeah. Gotta keep feeding the beast. And then like
Yeah,
it's kind
dude.
of sucks though in that situation because you like can't even stomach like another sip of Peroni because like
Hmm.
all of those bubbles are just taking up excess real estate in the stomach.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm happy to report that 99% of the beer I drank was Peroni, which is a big beer in
Nice.
Italy, of course.
Hell yeah.
I had one IPA, and which sent me in a spiral. I got so drunk off of that one IPA because it was at the end of the trip.
Wow.
Dude, yeah, brutal.
Well, I'm happy to report that despite visiting four craft breweries and one craft cidery while you were out of town, I
Mm,
still managed to drink more big beer.
hell yeah.
I'm committed to the bit. Got the 8 pack of Budweiser reloaded in the fridge, and I am loving
Wow.
it. I brought a few new recruits on board, conscripted them to big
Oh,
beer living, and I
and
encourage all the
how's that
breadheads to
going?
join us. It's going great. I couldn't be happier.
That's amazing to hear. I would love for the Breadheads to join us in this endeavor, you know?
Craft beer's dead, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. Um, Alongside, the Queen's funeral was the funeral for craft beer. I don't know if you caught
Hmm.
that. The channel, every news channel was showing the Queen, but
Yeah,
the
not
craft
on
beer
our
funeral
French
was
networks.
also happening. Yeah, exactly. Um, I think Fox covered it.
Yeah, Fox and Stink Fresh News is the only place you're gonna find the truth.
Exactly. Wow.
We're
Beautiful.
all just fringe networks. Um,
hmm
that's amazing, Eric. I have so many more questions with you about Italy, but I think we need to save them for another episode.
hmm Just to give you a little pulse check here, we've only gone through about 25% of the things I wanted to talk
Perfect.
about. And let me just tell you, like, we're saving the best.
It only gets better from here. And I have a few, no, nary a lot of interesting stories to tell you from my travels while you were away. I spent
Yes,
a week
please.
in Los Angeles, schmoozing with the stars, and a few days up in Canadian holiday destination, Whistler, British Columbia. So
hmm
I'm looking forward to sharing with you my experiences pickleballing there. I'm gonna leave it
Oh
at that.
man, dude, I want to hear about your pickleball. I want to hear about your pickle, and I want to hear about the like $45 smoothie you probably had at Beverly Hills Hotel while rubbing
No, dude,
shoulders with Simi Hayes.
it's crazy how much they'll charge for like a gin and tonic there. It's awesome.
Wow, I can't wait to get into it. Was it dinner or lunch?
Lunch.
Oh yeah, I love that G&T for lunch, baby.
Hell yeah. We out
Um,
here.
Breadheads, stay tuned. You just heard it. We got way more in store. This podcast is only getting better. Um,
Stay fresh as back, baby.
we're back. Thanks for being patient with us as we ate and drank our way closer to death.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, couldn't be happier to be back.
Me as well, Eric. It takes sometimes you need to go out in the world and find inspiration to then use it to hone your craft. And some people that is sandwich making. For us, it is discussing sandwich making with each other.
Hmm. And for us, it's also having like $11 coffees at the Gucci Garden in Florence.
Mm-hmm. Yo, even Blue Bottle's getting up there, man. That shit's expensive.
Oh shit. Dude, if you get the feature coffee at Blue Bottle, you're running up tab real good.
That's Gucci prices.
Yeah, I'm telling Bay, no feature.
Yeah, no feature. We're sticking to core menu here.
Yeah, we're
No
sticking.
signature sandwiches.
Yeah, only espresso for you, Bay. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to the value picks menu at the Fourth Wave shop. It's just
Yeah,
drip and Americanos.
yeah,
No
no,
creamer.
no, no siphon coffee. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank God the dairy industry is dead because putting milk in your coffee at a Fourth Wave joint is gonna it breaks the bank at this point.
It'll run you a serious penny to
Hmm.
add macadamia nut milk to your. So
Maybe that's the problem. All luxuries become necessities, and maybe it should still be a luxury to have like juiced almond in your morning cup of joe.
exactly. It should be once in a while, not every day.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, King. Um, Grazie and arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Ciao.
Ciao, papi.